Hello everyone, welcome to my channel We Learn by Sharun. I am Shraddha Banode, presently working as assistant professor in St. Vincent Pelosi College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In this series, we are learning synchronous machines, and in today's session, we are going to see the transient behavior of alternator under fault or short circuit condition. So let's quickly start with the transient behavior of the alternator. Now, in last class, I already explained you why we need to study this transient behavior, because when the alternator is under operating condition due to some fault or short circuit, there are some disturbances occurring in the current and every other parameter, like because everything is connected, the current will vary, the reactance will vary, the voltage will vary, everything will vary. So that, but out of that also there are two components, symmetrical component and asymmetrical component. So here we are just going to concentrate on the symmetrical component of it. So the transient phenomenon of the alternator is analyzed because of the sudden fault or sudden short circuit that may occur. Now I don't know you have learned the different kind of faults or not, but in power system you are going to learn the different type of faults, line to line faults, line to ground faults, and so on. So whenever such faults or short circuit occur, that time you have to study the transient behavior of the alternator. Okay. And see here, in this condition we are going to consider the unloaded condition of alternator. While when we say alternator, when this alternator is connected into grid already, so obviously it is always loaded, but to understand it better, we are going to consider the unloaded condition of the alternator here. Okay. And whatever fault that occurs and whatever short circuit that occurs because of which alternator gives the transient behavior, that is considered to be very severe, because the alternator is connected in the grid, and any unwanted changes in the alternator affects the overall power grid. Okay. Here, as I said, the machine is assumed to be unloaded condition and is operating at the synchronous speed. This is the basic assumption we are doing here. And when as the short circuit occurs, or as the fault occurs, at that instant we are going to assume some conditions that is there for few seconds, and after few seconds, because of the fault, the parameter changes. Okay. So the machine is developing a normal voltage under what we are discussing is the instance where the short circuit occur or is going to occur. At that time, the machine was under normal voltage condition, because we are considering unloaded condition, so there is no voltage drop. And because there is no voltage drop, so we can give the voltage of the three phases by these three equations, that is the instantaneous equation, where voltage of one phase is Em sine omega t, because Em is the maximum value of the voltage that can be induced, and it is sinusoidal waveform. So this is how we represent the sinusoidal waveform. Eb will be equals to Em sine omega t minus 2 pi by 3, because there is a lag and lead of 120 degree. And similarly, I will write down the third equation as Em is equals to sine omega t plus 2 pi by 3. So it's very clear that all the three waveforms are displaced by 120 degree. Okay. And now, because we are considering the unloaded condition, the only current that is there in the machine is the field current, because that is what we are going to consider. The pre-disturbance current is the field current, because we are saying that the machine is unloaded. So when it is unloaded, there will be very small armature current which will be negligible. So armature current increases as you load the alternator, because we are considering unloaded condition. So alternator current, like armature current, will be negligible, and that is why the only current that is flowing under this condition is the field current, and that is what we are going to consider. Okay. Now, because there is the field current flowing, obviously the purpose of field current is to produce flux, right? So the flux is there, the flux linkage is there, and that is why the alternator is working. Okay. Now, just let me tell you this thing, that even if after the fault condition all the field current and everything changes, but for some instant, but for some time, few seconds, things remain same, like the field current will remain same, and it will take time to react to the fault. Okay. So similarly, the flux linkages which is there with the rotor is going to same. It is going to be same for some seconds, and then it will show some changes. All right. Now, because there is the large transient current that will be flowing in the terminals, because now it will go to the slowly the effect of fault and short circuit will go to all the parameters of the alternator. Okay. So at this condition, suppose when at this condition, previously there was no armature current, but at this condition, if the stator terminals are shorted, a large transient current will flow through them. क्योंकि ऑलरेडी वहां पे फॉल्ट कंडीशन है, ऑलरेडी वहां पे वोल्टेज डेवलप है. अगर वोल्टेज है तो जैसे इसको शॉर्ट कर दोगे, अभी लोडेड नहीं है, अगर उसको शॉर्ट कर देते हैं तो देयर विल बी वेरी लार्ज ट्रांजिएंट करंट दैट विल फ्लो थ्रू इट. ओके. Now, see, because the flux linkage has to be constant there at the instant of fault and after few seconds of the fault, the flux, according to the flux linkage theorem, the current which is flowing through the armature winding will maintain the same flux constant. Okay, the flux linkage will not change instantaneously. जैसे आपको पता है कि इंडक्टर के थ्रू अगर करंट फ्लो होता है तो उसका डायरेक्शन एकदम से चेंज नहीं होता है. ठीक है. तो सिमिलरली जो फ्लक्स लिंकेज है वो भी भले ही आप फॉल्ट हो गया है, भले ही शॉर्ट सर्किट हो गया है, लेकिन जो फ्लक्स लिंकेज है वो कांस्टेंट रहेगा. दैट विल नॉट चेंज इंस्टेंटेनियसली. And the current in each phase of the alternator will be having consisting of two components, AC component and DC component. And now due to high inductance, because stator winding is there, it has to be very high inductive in nature. And as I told you that inductance doesn't change the direction of current instantaneously. So what inductor does? Inductor stores the energy in itself. So similarly, due to high inductance of the stator winding, it will store the energy in the stator core. Okay, and due to that stored energy, the current will flow in the same direction even after reversal of it. Okay, the current will force itself to flow in the same direction even after reversal of current. So the current which is getting reversed is called as AC current, and the current which is not getting reversed because of the stored energy is called as DC component of current. So this current which is left in the same direction even after reversal of current, that is called as DC offset current. That is called as DC offset current. Now, since the voltages, all the three phase voltages are displaced by 120 degree, the short circuit which occurs at a particular instant, all the three currents will be displaced from each other by 120 degree. And that is what I'll be showing you with the help of diagram waveform. मैंने आपको फर्स्ट क्लास में भी दिखाया था वो डायग्राम, और वो आज भी मैं आपको ठीक से दिखाऊंगी. ठीक है. तो उसमें आप नोटिस करोगे कि जो तीनों करंट है वो तीनों कहीं ना कहीं इसमें सब ट्रांजिएंट ट्रांजिएंट स्टेडी स्टेट बिहेवियर दिखा रहे हैं, लेकिन जो उसका डीसी करंट है वो आपको दिखेगा कि वो 120 डिग्री डिस्प्लेस्ड है, क्योंकि जिस इंस्टेंट पे शॉर्ट सर्किट हुआ था उस इंस्टेंट पे वो तीनों फेजेस 120 डिग्री डिस्प्लेस थे. And that is why the DC component of each phase is different, and that is why the DC component of each phase is different. So मैंने आपको फर्स्ट स्लाइड में बहुत सिंपल वेव फॉर्म दिखाया था, बट यहाँ पे आपको ये एक्चुअल वेव फॉर्म दिख रही है. अगर आपको ट्रांजिएंट बिहेवियर ड्रॉ करना है तो आपको इस तरीके की वेव फॉर्म ड्रॉ करना है. ठीक है. यहाँ पे अगेन मैंने यहाँ पे थ्री फेज करंट्स बताए हैं, फेज ए, फेज बी, फेज सी. So see, when the fault occurred at that time, the position of A phase was somewhere here. Okay, it was here. So this line, this dotted line, what you can see is the DC offset current. और आप देखोगे कि जो sinusoidal waveform हो रही है वो इसी के symmetry में आप देखोगे कि transient behavior, subtransient behavior and finally steady state. तो जब आप steady state behavior देखोगे तब आप देखोगे कि जो उसका DC offset current है, it is going to zero. ठीक है. The DC offset current is going to zero. At the same instant, the position of B phase current was this. ठीक है. लेकिन आप देखोगे कि यहाँ पे जो करंट है वो इस पोजीशन से शुरू हो रहा था. ठीक है. यहाँ पे जो करंट है वो इस पोजीशन से शुरू हो रहा था, और सी फेज में अगर आप देखोगे तो करंट कहीं और से ही शुरू हुआ है, जीरो से शुरू नहीं हुआ है. ठीक है. तो दिस इज जस्ट टू शो द फेज डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑल थ्री. और डीसी ऑफसेट करंट जो है यहाँ पे मैं यहाँ दिखा रही हूँ सी में, बट जरूरी नहीं है कि सी और बी का जो ये पॉइंट है ये सेम है. that can be like उसकी value, उसका distance अलग अलग है, it is just you have to show it somewhere. So it can be in the middle also. ठीक है, अगर वो यूनिफॉर्म है तो वो मिडिल पे भी रह सकता है, बट डीसी ऑफसेट करंट दिखाना बहुत जरूरी है, इसलिए मैं उसको एक्स एक्सिस पे नहीं दिखा के नीचे दिखा रहे या ऊपर दिखा रहे हैं. ठीक है, so this dotted line is nothing but the DC offset current of all the three phases. एंड आप देखोगे कि जो AC वेवफॉर्म है वो उस DC ऑफसेट करंट के सिमेट्री में ही आपको वेवफॉर्म शो कर रही है. ठीक है. The AC component of the symmetrical short circuit current can be divided into roughly three periods, that is subtransient period, transient period, steady state period. I have introduced these three periods in last class. We will just see one each by each in detail. Okay. Now, as I told you, this period lasts for 2 to 3 cycles. Okay, so not I cannot say exact. To sometimes it stays for 2 cycles, sometimes it stays for 3 cycles. Like this, the current which flows in this period is very large, but it also decays very rapidly. Okay, it is very large. It is 15 to 18 to 20 times of the rated current, but it also decays. जो उसका decay rate होता है वो बहुत fast होता है. ठीक है. The RMS value of the initial current, that is at the instant of the short circuit, is called subtransient current. You know that the current which is flowing under subtransient period is called as subtransient current. It is denoted by I double dash. Simple. Alright. Now, if E naught is the RMS value of the open circuit voltage क्यों? क्योंकि हमने उसको unloaded consider किया, हमने assume किया है that the alternator is unloaded, तो obvious जो EMF induced हो रहा है that is E naught. Okay, that is the full rated voltage. So that time XD double dash, which is subtransient reactance across D axis, is E naught by I double dash, where I double dash is the RMS value of the subtransient current and the reactance of the winding component is called direct axis subtransient reactance. It is called as direct axis subtransient reactance. Now X double dash is called as direct axis subtransient reactance. I double dash is called subtransient current. Now this reactance, ये जो reactance है X double dash, ये automatically develop नहीं होता है. इसको डेवलप करने के लिए इसमें एक मैकेनिकल वाइंडिंग इंक्लूड की जाती है, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डैम्पर वाइंडिंग. डैम्पर वाइंडिंग के टू पर्पसेस है, ये हम लोगों ने सिंक्रोनस मोटर में भी पढ़ा है. एक तो डैम्पर वाइंडिंग सिंक्रोनस मोटर में यूज होती है टू स्टार्ट द सिंक्रोनस मोटर, ओके, टू सेल्फ स्टार्ट द सिंक्रोनस मोटर. एंड सेकेंड यूज डैम्पर वाइंडिंग का ये है ऑल्टरनेटर में, दैट इट स्टेबलाइजेस द ट्रांजिएंट बिहेवियर ऑफ द ऑल्टरनेटर. तो जो बहुत ज्यादा ऑसिलेशंस आ रहे हैं करंट वेव फॉर्म में, उसको डैम्प आउट करता है डैम्पर वाइंडिंग. तो ये जो एक्सडी डबल डैश इज द रिएक्टेंस, सब ट्रांजिएंट रिएक्टेंस है ना, ये दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ द डैम्पर वाइंडिंग प्रेजेंट इन द ऑल्टरनेटर. Okay, so as I told you, during this period, large current flows in the armature, and that current is about like 5 to 10 times, or see it can increase. So you can refer to a comparative study आपको देना है. कुछ बुक्स में वो 5 to 10 बोल रहे हैं, कुछ बुक्स में वो 15 to 20 बोल रहे हैं, बट इट इज जस्ट कंपैरेटिव. अगर आप 5 to 10 यहाँ लिख रहे हो तो आप ट्रांजिएंट में कम लिखोगे और स्टडी स्टेट में तो आपका स्टेबल रहेगा. तो एक कंपैरेटिव स्टडी आपको देना है. ठीक है. So here it is saying current is 5 to 10 times the rated current, or you can say it is 15 to 20 times the rated current. It doesn't make any difference. Since the transients during this period disappears after few cycles, these transients are called as subtransient. Actually एक transient period जो होता है वो एक काफी बड़े ज्यादा waveforms ज्यादा cycles के लिए रहता है, लेकिन जो subtransient period है ये सिर्फ 2 या 3 cycles के लिए रहता है और बहुत quickly ये exhaust हो जाता है. So that is why it is called as subtransient period. Okay. The next is transient period. Now after the subtransient period, the current decreases slowly. मैं जैसे मैंने बताया कि current बहुत ज़्यादा होता है subtransient period में, लेकिन उसका decay rate बहुत fast होता है, बहुत जल्दी वो current अपने आप को stable की तरफ ले जाता है. Comparatively, transient period में current का magnitude कम रहता है, लेकिन उसका जो decrement है वो भी slow हो जाता है. जैसे वो पहले रैपिडली डीके होता है, यहाँ पे वो स्लोली डीके होता है डीके. द करंट इज ट्राइंग टू गो टू स्टडी स्टेट ऑटोमेटिकली, बट जो डीके रेट है वो अब कम हो चुका है. ठीक है. सो द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम which is helping current to decay is slow in transient period than in subtransient period. All right. The transient period lasts for about 30 cycle. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि 30 cycles तो पे ही रहना, जैसे सब transient period अगर 2 to 3 cycles के लिए रहता है तो transient period goes up to like 15 to 20 to up to 25 cycles transient period चल सकता है. ठीक है. The current which is flowing, the RMS value of the current which is flowing under transient period is called as transient current, and it is denoted by I dash. Now, again there is a DC component of the current which is inducing, it is taking time to decay. So the DC component is taking the time period to decay and to bring the current into steady state. All right. If the E naught is the RMS value of open circuit phase voltage, that is again XG dash is given here on the same frame. E naught अगर our RMS value of open circuit voltage है, where subtransient direct axis reactance XG double dash is equals to E naught upon I double dash. Similarly for transient period, XG dash, that is transient reactance, transient direct axis reactance is given by E naught upon I dash, where I dash is the transient current. Now, after the transient period, there will be steady state period, and the fault reaches its steady state value. So, see, the fault दो तरीके के होते हैं. एक fault जो होता है जिससे पूरी चीजें unbalance हो जाती है. You have to shut down the complete system. So we are not concentrating on that part. We are concentrating on that part of fault where fault is occurring and the alternator is going to oscillation transient behavior, and it is coming back to its steady state. Okay. So after the transient period, the current comes to its transient value, and the current which is flowing under transient period is called as the current which is flowing in steady state is called as steady state current, and it is denoted by ISS. So if you denote it by ISS or if you denote it by I, it is okay. It is one and the same thing. Steady state है तो ISS लिखा है, but normally steady state period का जो current होता है, we represent it as I. Okay. So the corresponding reactance is also called as direct axis synchronous reactance, and it is given by the ratio of E naught upon ISS. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos, and press the bell button right next to it. Thank you and happy learning.